What's good, YouTube? That182 here, back again once again. And today it's Thursday, so you're going to the Pokemon Top 5 all lined up ready to go for you guys. Now, last week we had the top 5 champions, and we had the choice to either top 5 gym leaders, almost the top 10, top 5 gym leaders, or top 5 Elite 4 members. And in traditional OCD fashion, you guys chose top 5 Elite 4 members. So with that being said, this week's top 5, as well as any top 5 that we do, is 100% opinionated, meaning that if you don't agree with it, then by all means leave your own top 5 Elite 4 members in the comment section below. If you're looking for just a factual countdown based off of stats, this is not the one for you. Bulbapedia is the place that you should go look. This is going to be based off a culmination of things, whether it comes down to looks or design, their teams, the impact they made on my childhood, whatever I decide to rank them off of, it's because it's my opinion. But like I said, you're free to share your own opinion in the comment section below. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this week's top 5 Elite 4 members. Starting off our countdown this week, in the number 5 slot, we have an unusual pick of sorts in the sense of Chantel. Or Chantal, I should say. Chantal, I don't know, it's one of those things. You ever been just like naturally, you're naturally drawn, you naturally gravitate to a character? That's kind of sort of how I feel about Chantel. You know, it's like, when I look at her, it's like, she's kind of cool. I like her. You know, there's nothing really much about her that I don't like. You know, when it comes to a lot of Elite 4 members, it's either a Pokemon on their team, or it's just their overall impression just puts me off of them, or whatever. But Chantel generally has, like, a very open, bubbly persona. She seems to be incredibly smart. And at the same time, she uses a lot of Ghost-type Pokemon, and, you know, it's whatever. But still, she uses a lot. I think, especially in 5th Gen, she fit in with the Elite 4 really, really well. I like how she had a Jellicent and a Golurk. It's just, her team was really, really unique. I wouldn't say she had much of an impact on my childhood, because I played 5th Gen, I'd say, as an adult. But still, Chantel just, like I said, it's just one of those things where I just naturally gravitated towards her, and I like her. Simple as it gets. She's number 5 this week. In the number 4 slot, we have Lorelai, and Lorelai is here for good reason, because when you were a kid, I have to go back to Gen 1. I know some of you guys never experienced this. I know some of you guys don't like Gen 1 for whatever reason. That's more power to you. Like whatever generation you like. But for me as a kid, they hyped it up when you went to Elite 4. Because you gotta think, like, you played through the entire game, and they've been talking about this the whole time. You've been getting these 8 badges, you go into Elite 4, and there she is, just sitting in the first room. With the notion that you can't turn back. She's just sitting there waiting for you. Ready to go. And it is so intense the first time you battle her, because you have that notion of, oh my god, I have just these 6 Pokemon, what am I going to do? I have to fight her. She's got, look at her level. Like, it was just one of those intense moments. I'll never, ever, ever forget the first time I took on Lorelai. Like I said in the beginning of the countdown, you know, it's one of those things where it's like an impact on your childhood. You know, like, I would never, ever, ever forget Lorelai. She is so intense. It's just her being. I think it's one of those things that you had to live through. Like, I think if you guys went back and played through it now after playing the more recent games, it wouldn't be the exact same. But, I mean, at the same time, you gotta think, she had a Jinx. She had a Slowbro. She had a Lapras. She's an Ice-type trainer. She has a Slowbro. What? You know, when we were kids, that just threw us off. And then her rest, Dugong, gong. Anybody don't want that. Anybody trying to deal with that. So, Lorelai, in her time, she was a force to be reckoned with. And she was incredibly intimidating, being the first Elite 4 member. So, she's number 4 this week. In the number 3 slot, we're going to go all the way from 1st Gen to 6th Gen. And in the number 3 slot, we have Melba. And Melba is there because it's nice to be the bad guy every once in a while. You know what I mean? It's nice to be the bad guy every once in a while. And I say that because Melba, isn't she the one that does, like, the news reports? But at the same time, there's lots of hints. Or isn't she in, like, some post-game activity in X and Y? I only did the post-game in X and Y once, so I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. But she's got some sort of affiliation with Team Flare, or a previous affiliation with Team Flare or whatnot. To me, that's almost just like Giovanni. One of the things I liked about Giovanni was that he was the leader of this criminal syndicate, but at the same time, he held this facade as the 8th gym leader in the Kanto region. Like, he just did all this right in front of Officer Jenny's face, and she can't say or do nothing to him because he's head honcho. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about Melba. It's like she's infiltrated the Elite 4. The Elite 4. The toughest trainers in the land, she's a part of. She's infiltrated, and she's a part of Team Flare too. So, I don't know, it's just that notion of, like, an undercover agent, or I feel like if they did, if they had some sort of, God forbid I say DLC, but if they had some like, additional post-game where they could expand upon her storyline further, I feel like it would be so interesting and just so in-depth. It only really, really sucks that they gave her a Torkoal. I feel bad about that. I don't know why they gave her a Torkoal. Like, what? You give her 4 Pokemon to begin with, let's give her a Torkoal. Right idea. So either way, well, I like her. She's number 3 this week. There it is. Coming into the number 2 slot this week, we have Grimsley. We're going back to 5th gen. We had Chantal at the beginning of the countdown, and now we have Grimsley. Grimsley I like just because, I don't want to say he's unique, but he's just so suave and sophisticated with his dark types. It's like he's just so comfortable with his surroundings wherever he goes. You know, he's got that hair slick, and he's got his sharp suit on and everything. He's got a little Scrafty by his side. He's got a Bisharp behind him. You know, he knows what he's doing. His life purring at his feet. You know, he is... I don't want to say he's the head honcho. I don't want to... Head honcho. The big boss Pokemon. I don't know if I want to say all that, but just Grimsley, it's just... this... Like, I could really care... I don't want to say I could care less about his team, because this whole team runs Sucker Punch. And, whew, you know how I feel about Sucker Punch, but still, it's one of those things where it's just, like, his persona and, like, the aura he emits. Like, when you walk into his chamber and you see him stand there and he puts his hand up in the air and he throws the Pokeball out, that's just... It's just, like... I don't know. Like, it's just so impressive. And so, I don't want to say it's intimidating, it's just like, yo, that's cool. He is cool. He is cool. That's really the only way I can say it, and I kind of sort of feel bad, just like, giving the reasoning for him being number 2 as he's cool. But you guys get what I'm saying? You know, it's kind of sort of like Chantal, where it's like, you just gravitate towards a character, and Grimsley is just cool. I'm sorry. He's number 2 this week. And claiming the number 1 spot, ladies and gentlemen, we have Lance. Back to Gen 1, back to Gen 2. No, he wasn't part of the Gen 2 Elite Four. He was champion in Gen 2. Gen 1, he was a part of the Elite Four technically. And he is the Dragon Master Lance. He is the OG Dragon type trainer. Before there was Claire, before there was Drake, before there was Cynthia, before there was Drayden or Iris, before there was Drosna, there was Lance. Lance he been putting in work. He trained up them Dragonites, because in 1st gen he had 2 Dragonairs, in 2nd gen he had 3 Dragonites. He had 2 Dragonairs and a Dragonite. He trained them up. You actually saw progression between him, and he is powerful. That's all I have to say. Lance, it's just like, he's amazing. Again, it's one of those things where it's one of those things, kind of sort of like Lorelai, where it's like my childhood. Like, it really hits you hard, because it's like Lorelai's where you started off, right? And like, it was that initial intimidation factor, and then you accomplished your first goal. You jumped that first hurdle, and then you went to take on Bruno, and Bruno was just as much of a brute, and you tackled that mountain. You got past that hurdle, and then you went to Agatha, and most of the time Agatha wasn't too bad. Some people I saw had some issues with her. I loved her because she has Gengars, but then you got past her, and then all of a sudden, you don't go straight anymore. You turn left, and you go down that hallway, and you turn the corner, and it forces you to walk up, and the doors close behind you, and there he is in his cape. And he walks up, and he's the Dragon Master Lance. And you gotta think, in Gen 1, dragons, there's only 3 dragons in Gen 1. And this was like the only time you saw them, period. So it's like, oh my god, I'm getting ready to take on a Dragonite. He leads with a Gyarados. Like, this man does not play around. So I don't know, it's just one of those, it's just, ever since I was a kid and I played through 1st gen, Lance has always been that head nigga in charge. That's all I can really say. He's just always had that intimidation presence. Like, could you imagine if they redid Gen 1 and you could see Lance in like 6th gen graphics with his Dragonites? That'd be a force to be reckoned with. That's all I have to say. And I love Drayano. In the Drayano ROM hacks, they did him justice. They gave him a Garchomp, a Salamence. Powerful, powerful, powerful. He's an amazing trainer in my opinion, and he'll always stand out and shine above all the rest. Especially because he was an Elite Four member and a champion. So, and wait, was he the only one that did that? I know we had Kogi that went from a gym leader to an Elite Four member. But do we have any other Elite Four members become champion? Because 3rd gen, nope, they stayed the same. 4th gen, nope, they stayed the same. 5th gen, nope, they stayed the same. 6th gen, they stayed the same. He's the only one that went from being an Elite Four member to champion. So, I don't know. It's just amazing in my opinion. But besides that, you guys, let us know what you think of your top 5 Elite Four members in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoyed, make sure you smash the hell out that like button down below for us as well. When it comes to next week's top 5, we have the choice between either top 5 gym leaders or top 5 rivals. So let us know what you guys would like to see next week when it comes to our top 5 series. We're in season 4 still. That's insane that we've had a series go for 4 seasons already. But besides, you guys, like I said, share with us your top 5 Elite Four members in the comment section below. Make sure you smash that like button for us if you haven't already. And of course, with that, thank you all so much for your support, and thank you for checking out the video. You know me, YouTube, Nappy182. I'm out.